have fantastic news for everybody. Star Wars has in fact been saved. And who is doing the rescuing? Well, the people that drove it directly off a cliff to begin with. Because did everybody forget? Did everybody forget? Like outside of what? Ahsoka episode 5 when, oh my god, he Vader, he had red lightsaber, oh my god. Mandalorian season 3, that universally panned, hot, steaming pile of crap. It was directed by the same guys who are going to be heading up this Mandalorian Grogu film. Oh, it's going to be so fantastic. It's definitely going to harken back to the halcyon days of season 1 and, well, season 2, but definitely not season 3 because that was a totally different. Oh no, it's the exact same team that was working on it. How do you reconcile that? I'm just wondering, okay, as an outsider looking in. It's just, okay, all of the enthusiasm that's behind this decision makes zero sense for the exact same reasons. Everybody was just so upset with the quality, the steep quality drop-off with Season 3 of Mandalorian. You go ahead and you give them a smaller period of time to tell a story that still has to link up with another announcement that they made here. How's that gonna do anything? But let's get into the announcement. The Mandalorian and Grogu are getting a movie. After 3 seasons on Disney Plus, Din Djarin and his adorable protege are heading to the big screen. Today, Lucasfilm announced that the movie based on The Mandalorian was in the works, with production starting in 2024 and series creator Jon Favreau as director. I thought I seen some tentative release date that this is going to be coming out next year, which, holy shit, that is a quick turnaround time, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. But I thought the next project was supposed to be Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy's Rey movie, but oh, I bet you that this decision ended up getting fast-tracked because of all of the bad press that they were getting off of the back of the feminist director. I'm sure it's purely coincidental. Favreau will also be serving as producer alongside Lucasfilm president, Kathleen Kennedy, and Star Wars mainstay Dave Filoni. Yes, the exact triumvirate of idiots that have desecrated the corpse of Lucasfilm since 2012. They're all right there, guys. Jesus Christ. What is it? Stockholm Syndrome? Is that what's happening over there? It's like, oh, Dave Filoni helped make the Clone Wars, and we liked the Clone Wars, so it's not like he hasn't fallen off or anything like that. You know, once a great director, always a great director. Yeah, just go ahead and love the early work of the likes of Ridley Scott against his later day output. James Cameron, sure, makes a lot of money, yeah, but who remembers any of the Avatar films, really? The film, and I thought this was a placeholder name, is fittingly The Mandalorian and Grogu. Yes, exactly, that little bundle of shit that effectively ruined any premise and hope for development that this show could have had. Hey, it's a great marketing gimmick, and all the girls, all the hardcore Star Wars fans really like Baby Yoda. That's all we have at this point right now, and there are no details when the movie will take place or any hints at the plot. Well, it's going to tie up and then just eventually lead into Dave Filoni's movie. It's going to wrap up all of the Mandalorian verse, Mando-verse stories with the Book of Boba Fett. You remember that one? Wasn't that also Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni? Oh, it was. Fantastic. The other Mandalorian stories and one other series that we're going to be talking about very, very shortly. In a statement, Kennedy said simply that this new Star Wars story is the perfect fit for the big screen. Fade out. Here's the piece of the teaser art. Yeah, whatever. Okay, there you go. Okay, so apparently something's blowing up in the atmosphere or what, because okay, like little baby Yoda doesn't quite have a breathing apparatus on, so either this is like a last ditch effort in order to rescue his corpse, or there's something goofy going on. But of course there's something goofy going on. The Mandalorian just wrapped up its 3rd season last year to rave reviews, right? And has been one of the Star Wars universe's most reliable vehicles of late. Sure, I'll take your word for it. With the franchise's theatrical output seemingly in a constant state of flux, Star Wars, that straight-to-streaming IP. No, it was once at one point in time the biggest cinematic franchise in history. Yeah. Oh, the time flies when you're making dog shit. Last year, 3 new features were announced, going to the tried and true formula of Mando and Baby Yoda. Makes a lot of sense. As part of the movie's announcement, Lucasfilm also confirmed that Season 2 of Ahsoka. Oh, fantastic. Because heaven forbid You leave Ahsoka out in the lurch, and who knows, Grand Admiral Thrawn, Captain Cope, he's on his way over, guys, and we need to tie that up or make it make sense so that we can lead into Dave Filoni's film. So once again, Favreau's just going to be the fluffer, but I thought he was really pissed off with the way that Marvel handled everything, and he made that passive-aggressive chef movie, and then he came back and was given more power over at Star Wars to just go ahead and be led around by the collar. But no, this is going to be his own deal 100%. This is a Jon Favreau director. The rest of the crew is just going to be backing him up. It's going to be great, like just like Jon Favreau's later day output, okay? And he was cutting his teeth doing Rounders, the original Iron Man. Like, he had a steep drop off, and I don't even need to continue to make mention of the Star Wars projects. You could just go with the great work that he did with the Lion King live action adaptation, right? Now, everybody loved that and remembers that, of course. But what about the rest of the cinematic fare from Star Wars coming out of Lucasfilm? Well, we got a plot leak, sort of, tentatively speaking, when it comes to the Rey movie, and oh boy, grab onto your assholes, because this is fucking pathetic. A new rumor alleges to reveal possible plot details of the upcoming Star Wars film starring Daisy Ridley and being directed by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy. Oh boy. It's going to make a vast swath of the fandom upset, but a very small subset, well, maybe they'll at least be the ones that turn out for that. We know it's going to be a small subset to begin with. Lucasfilm announced at Star Wars Celebration back in April of 2023 that Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy would direct a film focusing on the new Jedi Order, and it would see Daisy Ridley return to the franchise to reprise her role. Yeah, and that's when all of the clips that all of the pundits were circulating after the New Year's Eve, well, it's about time that women finally have the opportunity to craft a story in a galaxy far, far away, you know, with the lack of female representation, and then also Deborah Chow helming the, well, you probably want to forget about the Obi-Wan series, but she did that one. Very much did that one. But anywho, press release detailed at the time that the movie is set 15 years after the last events of the Skywalker saga. Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy will tell the story of rebuilding the new Jedi Order and powers that will rise to tear it down. The director then delighted fans, that's a strong word, by welcoming Daisy Ridley to stage and confirming that she will be reprising her beloved role as Rey in the upcoming movies. Okay, like, as somebody who's not the biggest Star Wars fan, I at least know a vast majority of the characters from the prequels and from the OT. Ain't nobody outside of the people that follows this stuff extensively can even name you 3 characters from the sequel trilogy. Okay, they could take a look at the chick that's up there on stage, and it's like, which one's a part of the movies? And it's like, the one in the black, because she's in the middle. Like, what? She's so goddamn forgettable. So a previously leaked synopsis from issue 1335 of Production Weekly stated, set roughly 15 years after Rey's victory over Palpatine at the end of Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker. Rise of Skywalker, right? Fucking Christ, how terrible was that? Okay, I am all the Sith, I am all the Jedi. Oh my god, it's like the I am Iron Man scene. It's so great. The sequel delves into Rey's courageous endeavor to restore the Jedi Order, where she assumes the role of a mentor to 2 promising young students, a girl and a boy. As her training progresses, it becomes evident that the girl possesses extraordinary abilities. Of course she does. Destined to emerge as a future leader. And of course, because the boy, well, he's just born with a Y chromosome, meaning that he's intrinsically evil, so we need to find a way to cast him down in his crib, just like Luke in The Last Jedi. Now, a new rumor from scooper WDW Pro alleges to reveal the 2 possible paths the film might take. Boy, he alleges there are 2 iterations of the Rey script that I'm aware of that I can talk about according to a rumor, and those iterations of the script that have been told to exist. Folks, I haven't seen the script. I don't have any hard proof of this, but again, it comes from someone who helped us tell you that the Rey movie was coming. I take it pretty seriously. WDW Pro relayed. So there are 2 iterations of the Rey script that I'm aware of. I can talk about according to the rumors, and they're apparently early in development, and the idea is that Rey would be pregnant with a child, and that off-screen she would have become pregnant somehow through the Force ghost of Kylo Ren in a way that would be explained but not presented on screen. So I guess there was a little bit more behind that kiss at the end of the film, Rise of Skywalker, that I guess we weren't privy to That'll be in the JJ cut. Release the Abrams cut. They could not have Rey be pregnant with any other person than Kylo Ren. And, oh yes, and that to placate the Reylo fans. There it is. There, and then the story was going to push forward to when her child was about 9 years old, a daughter, and that daughter was going to be training in the new Jedi Temple with Rey and the other Padawans. That this 9-year-old daughter was going to combine the light and dark to form a new type of Jedi. He continued, and then they're going to face off against, it is Darth Plagueis. Oh my god, just pilfering all of the good stuff. I thought you guys hated the prequels, but no, you're just going back and pilfering everything that you possibly can. Because, yeah, it wasn't enough where you had the original heroes around. Okay, because that was something that everybody was thinking. It's like, okay, Snoke, okay, big leader of the First Order, he's all horribly disfigured. Is that the remnants of Darth Plagueis? Is that possibly what Emperor Palpatine was talking about? But no, it just ended up being nothing. That Emperor Palpatine was still alive. Somehow Palpatine returned. No, you got to go ahead and give this accolade to Rey, because, of course, or Rey's kid. Well, apparently, he was going to be back, and that is the first iteration of the script. That was discarded. Okay. They do not feel that they would quell the complaints about Rey being a Palpatine, and that they didn't want to fool with that. Oh yeah, that's hilarious. There were also concerns that Daisy Ridley's character was a side character and that her daughter would take the lead, and that was going to be an issue. Yes, of course, because we need to have Rey front and center, because everybody loves and identifies with Rey. He later detailed the script didn't really have a lot of oversight from Disney executives beyond Lucasfilm. Oh no, Bob Iger is somewhere, he's just punching air. As far as the second script, he shared his belief that is one done by Stephen Knight. As far as the plot details, WDW Pro stated, that one, where Disney became involved, involves Rey and Finn fighting against a new villain. A new villain with a combination of the Night Sisters and the Sith. Ugh. So, a Sith that has learned to take on the powers of the Night Sisters and combined with the Force, the magic of the witches. Yeah, it's not enough where you have a mystical power that just runs through all living creatures. You gotta augment that with a bunch of stupid magic. I think that this part, I bet you this part of the script, probably going to be amalgamations between the two, because you got to placate your remaining fan base that's mostly just Reylos anyways. Everybody else is just pointing and laughing at this desecrated corpse. But then also, got to try to find a way to weave it together with those Mando-verse movies that are on the way. Yeah, you better believe that's going to be the case. And that Rey and Finn would combine together to take on that foe. He continued, I'm also told that Grogu would make a cameo in both of these. There it is. But that Grogu had been scaled back dramatically due to needing to save him for the Mandalorian movie. Oh, wow. And because of the change in production and the release related to the strikes that were going on. But yeah, now that we're going to have that one's firmly in development. And now with the announcement that Jon Favreau is going to be doing a Mandalorian-specific movie, Dave Filoni's got his Mando-verse movie to tie it all together. What a bright future that Star Wars has in front of it. But with all of this talk of Rey, a little nod to Finn, he was the black guy, by the way, John Boyega, who was really pissed off with Star Wars, but then I guess the check cleared, and now all of a sudden he's going to be back on board. Oscar Isaac, who was Poe. You might remember Poe. Actually, you probably don't anyways. Him wanting to stay as far away from this franchise as humanly possible because he has a career to go ahead and capitalize on. He's been doing exceedingly well. But somebody outside of a passing mention and then just simply going, yeah, he's not really going to be in it, was Kylo Ren. It was Adam Driver. And if he was going to be the father, if he was going to be alluded to as a Force ghost, and wouldn't you think, given the fact that they even got old Harrison Ford back to reprise his role as Han Solo in a couple of the films, wouldn't you think that Adam Driver would be coming back in some form or fashion? But no. He's kind of taking the approach that the rest of the public is. It's like, enough with this crap, man. Just like, let it die. Kill the past if you have to. Adam Driver made the Star Wars set more exhausting than it should have been, says, I'm not doing any more films in the franchise. He's done with it, man. He is absolutely 100% content with, just like Oscar Isaacs, having a career totally removed from Star Wars. Doesn't even matter if he's dead. Nobody's ever really gone. Well, he could have been back, but he's like, nope, not going to handle this at all whatsoever. You guys go ahead and, you deal with your tire fire over there. With Daisy Ridley set to return for the Star Wars franchise as Rey, and a new film set after the events of 2019's The Rise of Skywalker. Many fans are wondering whether or not their actors' co-stars might also book a return trip to a galaxy far, far away. We heard a little bit about John Boyega's Finn. Oscar Isaac's Poe is just off doing flyboy things. We're alive at the end of the film, making their potential returns a possibility, I guess. Whereas Adam Driver's Kylo Ren, Ben Solo, died a hero. Sure. Of course, characters often come back from the dead in Star Wars. So fucking dumb. But don't bank on Kylo Ren being one of them. They're doing stuff, but not with me. He's really settling into that Harrison Ford-like role after the franchise is firmly put on ice. Driver said in a recent appearance in the Smartless podcast, "I'm not doing anymore." You're done because the character's done. Podcast co-host Sean Hayes asked in the follow-up question, to which Driver responded, "Yes, Star Wars was way more exhausting for me. I made it more exhausting than it should have been. I hadn't quite figured out the momentum of the set. I was that big before. All the things I'd worked on were pretty small and moved pretty fast. The director sets the pace of the set. I don't like to control that. I just have to adjust. Spike Lee and Steven Soderbergh shoot really fast. For me, that's not comfortable, but it's a movie and their film, so I adjust." Driver revealed on the Rich Eisen show last month that his arc as Kylo Ren completed changes from the original plan over the course of the 3 films. And yeah, if you watched it or listened to a bunch of reviews like I did, you'd realize that his arc wasn't so much of a straight shot as it was bunch of broken trusses and then just disparate little branches coming off of every other stop along the way. Like, it was a total disaster. The only thing less consistent about the sequel trilogy is Emperor Palpatine coming back from being exceptionally dead and very much blown up in the wreckage of the second Death Star. But Godspeed to Adam Driver. Godspeed, because at least he can see the writing on the wall on this one, okay? He already got worked around the first time through, and now that he has somewhat of a clean break, he can see everything else that's going on right now, and he's just, yeah, you know what, thank you for the experience, but no thank yous. I will not be taking seconds on this one. Like I said, he has a career, unlike Daisy Ridley, who definitely needs the work. And for a lot of people who are saying, "Oh, I don't know if some of these films aren't going to be coming out," the Rey movie and the fact that you got the rest of those Mando-verse movies that are going to be out there. Apparently, James Mangold has one in production. Taika Waititi has one in production. Rian Johnson has 3 of them in production. Dan and Dave have some of them in production. I think that it's going to be pretty safe to assume that the 2 Mandalorian directly under the control of the guys who have been running that ragged ship, those will probably see the light of day, and I think that they are way too pot committed at this point in time to not have that Rey movie out there. So frankly, I'm looking forward to it. Not because I want to watch the films or anything like that. No. It's just been so much fun covering them. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Cotswell. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.